I'm on Patreon, and Patreon is a platform where I will upload interesting videos where you can learn astrology. Connect with me on Patreon and we will grow, and I will give you much more deep insights on Vedic astrology, and lot more secrets will be shared there. Hello Seekers, welcome to Punneits Astrology, your one-stop astro channel. We did a video on lunar eclipse and you loved it all. Thank you so much. Now today, let's discuss on the solar eclipse. Solar eclipse will happen on 8th of April. It will not be visible in most of Asia, but still eclipse is eclipse, whether it is visible or not. There are astrological significations attached to it. Lunar eclipse affects your mind. Solar eclipse affects your astral body, it affects your soul, it affects your purpose of life. And solar eclipse is something that can alter your personality. And this time the eclipse is happening in the sign of Pisces. And not only the eclipse is happening, but if you see, there is a crowd of planets in the zodiac sign of Pisces. On the day of eclipse, you have Rahu, Moon, Sun, and an exalted Venus. And on the other hand, Mercury will be retrograding back to Pisces. Mercury will be in the Aries zodiac sign in less than 1 degree. So Buddha will be in retrograde combust. Moon, because it is in close proximity with the Sun, Moon is also combust. Now with Moon and Mercury going combust and Rahu trying to capture, you see mind, body and soul. Rahu is capturing Sun, Moon and Mercury. And in all that, Venus finds its beautiful place, which kind of creates lot of energy vortex around Shukra, affecting Taurus and Libra zodiac sign. Let's discuss in detail what does this eclipse has to offer. What is the energy flow of this eclipse? What does this eclipse actually mean? What are the arrangement of planets around the eclipse? Every eclipse is a different energy signature. Let's discuss that. But before that, do not forget to hit subscribe, because your subscription has made me reach 100k subscribers. So it's a big family now. And now I want to reach a target of 200 and then 500k, so that more and more people can connect through the world of Vedic astrology and the awareness spreads. So please subscribe, share the video among family and friends, and do comment your views in the comment section. And if you want to take my consultations, you can drop me an email or give me a call on the number that is on the screen. I also make Instagram videos. New interesting Instagram updates are coming soon, especially on the stories. So do check that out. And if you want to get all the links of all my channels, because I have many channels covering different aspects of different things, you can subscribe and connect using the Telegram channel, and that will give you all the links in one platform. Let's start and a brief understanding on what this solar eclipse has to offer. Solar eclipse is a phenomena which affects your soul, because Sun is the natural Atmakaraka. The fundamental principle is that during the solar eclipse, the three fundamental zodiacs, the three basic zodiacs that gets always affected are the first zodiac where the eclipse happens. So this is solar eclipse happening in Pisces. So number one, Pisces will be directly impacted. Second will be Leo, because Surya rules Leo zodiac sign. And the third will be the zodiac right in front, so Virgo. So Pisces, Virgo and Leo are the three zodiac signs which are directly impacted. And this eclipse is happening in Revati Nakshatra. Both Sun, Moon and Rahu are in Revati Nakshatra. So anyone who has prominent planets in Revati Nakshatra, if your moon or ascendant is in Revati Nakshatra, it is going to impact. Now, Revati Nakshatra eclipse usually means that your entire focus will be elimination of problems. That means suddenly you will become very problem specific. In fact, this is the energy effect throughout the world. Some will be able to act on it, some will be think and ignore, some will be too busy in their life that even if this thought comes, they will not give it any value. Totally depends on your own horoscope. But On a blanket level, this eclipse wants you to solve your problems. It wants you to correct all the mistakes, and this is the eclipse which kind of works in a way that it can and it has the potential and it can trigger to solve age-old problems, even if the problem is 100, 200 years old. Now, it can be a geopolitical problem. It can be a mathematical problem. It can be a computational problem. It can be a problem of your own personal life. It can be a financial issue, or it can be an issue in love and relationship. Now, you have to observe that this eclipse is going to experience an exalted Venus. An exalted Venus is selfless love. This eclipse is happening right in front of Venus, because Venus will be around 9 degree 40 minutes in Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra. So 9:40-41 degree of Uttara Bhadrapada, Shukra, experiencing eclipse in Revati. Revati is the position where Venus gets its peak exaltation. This can trigger lot of insecurity, material level insecurity among lot of people, especially people with afflicted moon and Venus. It can trigger an emotion that you don't have enough and you want to achieve more. This can sometimes trigger greed. You will have to be very careful that you should not follow the path of greed. You should not follow the path of having everything in excess. Remember, Mercury is retrograding in the sign of Aries, in Ashwini Nakshatra, and it is coming back. So if you observe, this eclipse is kind of hemmed between two benefic planets, Venus and Mercury. Mercury on one side, Venus on the other side. In fact, Jupiter on the other side, because Jupiter is in Aries zodiac sign. So this eclipse has the potential to actually uplift you, give you another soul realignment. It can change you forever. It can make you a better person. It can trigger an emotion that you should start your journey in occult science. It can trigger an emotion that you should start journey in your mantra jap. You would want to solve problems of society. You will become more aware. This eclipse is going to suddenly tune in your mind to higher frequencies, and now you are thinking in a very different pattern. People who have Rahu moon, Rahu sun, Ketu moon, Ketu sun conjunction, and in fact Rahu Mercury, Ketu Mercury conjunction will experience this even further. Your intuition power will increase multifold. People having Venus or moon in 8th house will experience this intuition, a wave of emotion coming your way. A lot of people will connect to some sadhana, a guru, during this time. Now this eclipse is happening when Mercury is coming back to Pisces, which means this eclipse wants you to revise something. This wants you to address some issues, especially communication issues related to language. So if you want to learn an ancient language, if you want to do something good about any language, it's a great time for that. Especially people who are involved in scientific studies, IT and telecom. If you are trying to learn a software, if you want to go to a niche software skill, this is a great time for that. This eclipse can actually trigger that emotion within you, that you are now more aligned to that path. One more effect. A lot of people who are praying to a certain energy or a certain god, who are devoted to a certain god, may suddenly have this calling towards a different deity. Say you are a great Krishna Bhakta and you do a lot of sadhana of Bhagwan Shri Krishna, and suddenly you have this calling to Bhagwan Shiva. Don't be confused. If the calling comes, start praying. That does not mean that you will leave the prayer of Bhagwan Krishna. Understand, it is the Bhagwan Krishna's energy that is taking you to Bhagwan Shiva, maybe because you need that connection at this moment. So do not resist any spiritual growth or progress, any redirection happening at this point of time. On the other hand, if you observe that Pisces is a zodiac sign of enormous wealth, Revati is a nakshatra of enormous wealth and prosperity, and when this eclipse happens, it is going to impact some financial areas of the world. Financial institutions, wealth management institutions are going to face the heat of this eclipse. Forced changes, internal scrutinies, some sort of market corrections will happen after the eclipse. Obviously not immediately, but these are trigger points. Now, someone who is having a negative Surya in their chart, say you have Sun Ketu and it's in afflicted position, or you have Rahu Sun, Saturn Sun, and you have a Pitra dosh, then what you should do is you should pray to Bhagwan Surya by chanting Surya Gayatri Mantra, Aditya Hriday Stotra, giving water to the sun. And on 8th of April, you are praying more and more to Bhagwan Surya. Then what this will do, this will energize. See, this eclipse is going to be in a very, in a time when Saturn and Mars are together, 12th from this eclipse. There is a buffer of Venus in between, but Saturn and Mars is kind of very close. On 10th and 11th, they will be crossing each other. Mars will be crossing the position of Saturn. So in that case, this eclipse is also going to make you remember all the past. It will make you realize what is toxic and what is good for you. And everyone who is ready to segregate the bad from the good and focus on the path of good will realize the good impact of the eclipse. After all, Venus in Revati is not a bad Venus. It is an exalt Venus. It's a Venus that wants you to show love, compassion. Just that you should not be completely submerged in the material, mundane activity. You will also see, because of this eclipse, there will be some natural phenomena in the high seas and some geopolitical tensions arising because of this. Also, in your own space, at your own level, in Hindi we say Yatha Shakti Yatha Sambhav, start doing donations. Small donations, especially donations related to eye problems, donations related to people who are having feet problems, donating shoes, slippers to the needy is going to be a very good remedy at the point on the day of eclipse, especially in and around eclipse. Starting your mantra japa related to your Ishta Devata is going to be a very good remedy. There is no restriction of Sutak, at least not in Asia, because the eclipse is not directly visible, neither partially nor completely. So you are free to act as per the Shastra. There is no other restrictions. So donation, mantra chanting will be a very good idea. Joining yoga center, going for healing, correcting your lifestyle, correcting your physical posture, correcting your communication will be some of the basic themes. Now, here is the message to all the writers and journalists and anyone who is trying to convey a message. You need to be very, very cautious and careful, because your message can make someone motivate or demotivate. So try to be as encouraging as possible in and around this eclipse, and try to ignore any negative portrayal of human emotion, and try to be as positive and optimistic as possible. Also, Mercury is also connected with your 5 sensory organs, because Mercury is all about sensation, information, and your information. You see the world, you are listening to me, you are using your brain, but through audio signals. So some or the other way, you are using 5 inputs, Panchadwar, 5 sensory organs for creating the reality, and that 5 sensory organs should be treated with positive things. Eat positive so that you can taste positive. Wear good, don't wear black color on the day of eclipse. You should absorb as much positive energy through mantra chanting so that you hear positive. Meditate, do some sadhana, and you can also pray to Bhagwan Kal Bhairav if you are initiated. Kal Bhairav Ashtakam will be a very good remedy for a lot of people, especially someone who is having problems related to Rahu. Now, there are people who will start having problems related to eye. And if you are having problems related to eye, pray to Bhagwan Ganesh. Focus more on absorbing more and more vitamins. Some may also experience gut-related problems, and it is a sudden problem. I'm not saying that if you already have a problem, suddenly you will start having this fluctuations. Moreover, anything that is created by eclipse, if it is negative according to you, will need Jupiter transit in Taurus. So allow Jupiter to move in Taurus before you make a bigger step. If you are getting an idea on the day of eclipse, write it down. If you are having a certain emotion, write it down. It can be handy later on. Maybe tomorrow or after 2 months, you realize, oh, that idea was really good because it got triggered on the day of eclipse. Now, a day after eclipse is Navratra. And 9th of April is the first day of Ma Bhagavati. So praying Durga Shaptashati and taking a sankalp on the day of eclipse that you will pray to Durga Shaptashati or Devi Suktam will be a very good remedy in general. Rest obviously depends upon your initiation, the Guru Mantra and the Ishtadev that is good for you and according to your own personal horoscope. But I'm telling in general, if you're having problems of Rahu, if you're having problems of Ketu, if you're having problems of Saturn, a sankalp taken on the day of eclipse and then you starting prayers and doing some donation is a blanket remedy for almost all of the problems that you have. I hope this helps you. Ascendant wise analysis will come in the next video. Till then, namaste.